Fleet Logs. Entry 1. Fleet Commander Bushnach. Pre-flight briefing, in which I will detail the background for this mission, its purpose, and the briefing schedule. This fleet is an uplifting mission for the species recently observed by the hub that have achieved mastery on a planet some 425,603 LC away. While no observations of society and civilization have yet been observed, these will surely follow, as the planet's ecosystem is showing all the signs observed on planets throughout the galaxy. Of particular interest to the hub is that, should our mission be successful, and these creatures uplifted and brought into the community, they will be by far the largest and strongest of our number, a great addition to our ranks. Our predicted travel time is 265,466,141 cycles. Total ranks are 2 million dispersed across 116 ships. The method of living crew transportation used for this journey will be cryogenesis, as it is for most longer journeys. I will be defrosting periodically to monitor situations and provide updates to the hub on our mission status. We will be bringing with us high-powered telescopes to provide more recent and accurate depictions of the fauna on our target planet, to relay analysis back to the hub so that communication delay does not hamper our mission as we approach the system. At present, the last of our crew not boarded are attending wakes for acquaintances that will not be joining them on this mission. Our ships are prepared and ready for departure. All food, sunbulbs, and diadacts required are dispersed throughout the fleet. If things proceed as planned, my first defrosting and next briefing will see us halfway towards our destination. Entry 2. Fleet Commander Bushnach. First briefing. Fleet status exemplary. Iron drives performing as expected. Current speed is 54 out of 77 of capacity. Hibernation failure rate is 0.000036. We are on target. After perusing the system logs, I have the following updates to make. Our target has undergone an extinction event. This was not unexpected, and excitedly they have pulled through it well, just as predicted. Their strong survived unscathed and flourished in the aftermath with new, more powerful forms. Their smart adapted, inventing new hunting tactics and avoiding natural obstacles that previously would have confounded them. Their weaker brethren perished, and their bodies nourished the advancement of the stronger. I cannot help but salivate over the prospect of meeting these creatures. Their level of adaptation suggests that we might be able to significantly scale back the uplifting operation. It is entirely possible that the target's masters will be able to even manipulate metals by the time we arrive. Higher resolution analysis of the planet indicates a significantly greater level of tectonic activity than the galactic average. In fact, with the records we have stored from departure time, this planet is the single most active planet we have ever observed life on. Normally this renders the environment too unpredictable for life to thrive in, relegating it to microscopic life forms. Perhaps this is an explanation for the tenacity of the species here. A high level of adaptability must have been baked into their evolutionary framework. Entry 3. Fleet Commander Bushnach, second briefing. Fleet status exemplary. Iron drives performing as expected. Current speed is 75 out of 77 of capacity. Hibernation failure rate is 0.00065. We remain on target. We've executed over half of our journey and begun the deceleration burn. Reversal of the plasma trajectory shield executed flawlessly. Transit impact damage negligible. After perusing the system logs, I have the following updates to make. Our target has undergone yet another extinction event. This world is tumultuous and violent. The creatures that have evolved through this are bizarre forms that were once inconceivable to me, and likely would be to you back in the hub. Due to the highly competitive environment, they evolved armor. Evolved it. Then they further evolved a means to use that armor as yet another weapon in the war for natural supremacy. Some level of cultural pacification might be required as part of the uplifting process. I have noted the absence of such didacs from our libraries, though I understand we are in unprecedented times. I have begun to develop a theory on why this world is like it is. It is related to the comparative youth of the planet itself. I suspect that life here formed spontaneously, rather than being seeded by wanderers as is typical throughout the galaxy. This made for a more volatile environment for the fundamental building blocks to achieve stasis in. That it ultimately created species that look so similar to us poses some interesting theological questions that are not my place to speak of. I will retain my mission focus and keep my observations scientific in nature in future. Entry 4. Fleet Commander Bushnach, third briefing. Fleet status exemplary. Iron drives performing as expected. Current speed is 52 out of 77 of capacity. Hibernation failure rate is 0.00104. We remain on target. Mission status is questionable. After perusing the system logs, I have some terrible news to report, and I regret that this information will arrive at the hub in an untimely manner. A further extinction event has occurred. It was brought about by an externality to their system. A rogue asteroid struck their planet. That any life remains is yet another demonstration of the tenacity of life at the target. Some species seems to have even thrived in the aftermath, though the planet has much changed. The mission profile has expanded from simply uplifting to one of reptilitarian aid. In that regard, I'm reporting now the extension of our mission by 24,135 cycles, as we will need to restore the ecosystem to its prior vivaciousness upon arrival. I regret that I will not be able to persist for the entire mission duration anymore, and I will report command structure updates when the appropriate clutch hatches. Words cannot express the level of despondency I am feeling whilst typing this report. Gone are the great beasts we initially observed, the monstrous lizards that compress the very land they stalked across. Most surviving species are either amphibious, squat beasts, or as small as the avians and mammalians we feed upon. I am struggling to have faith that evolution will restore them part way by the time we arrive. Without that, we do not have the facilities to restore them. Requesting blueprints for gene sparsal device factories. If need be, we will remain in cryogenics at our destination, awaiting the transmission. Entry 5. Fleet Commander and Doomsayer Booknashk, 4th briefing. Fleet on course. What more can I say? What I am about to say will shock the hub to its core. I can only hope the telescope readings suffice as evidence of the truth of my words. Mammalian Mastery. Mammalian Mastery. In a world where reptilians once ruled the roost as we ought to. Mammalian Mastery over even avians. Those creatures so wasteful resources that most spend a full quarter of each cycle in perpetual slumber, now dominate all biomes on the target. To confound you further, those which have achieved it evolved no physical means of self-defense. They are soft, delicate creatures with no redeeming features, save bountiful flesh for the eating. They oppress the reptiles of their world, causing them to become timid, vapid shells of what a reptile ought to be. Like most of us, I enjoyed the horror stories as a child, of our food rising up and wreaking havoc. I have now seen it become a reality. I described myself as a doomsayer just minutes ago, but putting my thoughts into words is still my resolve. I am their doomsayer. The mission profile for reptilitarian aid continues. We will restore the target to its former glory, with reptiles on top and mammals enfeebled. I have scheduled a rotating defrost of the entire fleet to debrief them on the current state of affairs and our new objective. I will make one more report before arrival. We are most of the way there, and I will awaken to observe the status of the target in a much shorter window than usual to confirm the mission profile. Entry 6. Fleet Commander Booknashk, 5th briefing. Fleet status exemplary. Iron drives performing as expected. Current speed is 26 out of 77 of capacity. Hibernation failure is 0.00216. We remain on target. Mission status is getting more incensed. After perusing the system logs, I have the following updates to make. I will be decreasing our burn rate temporarily to accelerate the mission profile. I believe this will be necessary for the mission's success, and the increased loss of life from hibernation failure will be worth the cost. The mammalians have developed at an inconceivable pace. In my last entry, a mere 32,216 cycles ago, they were playing with rocks. Now they have mastered electromagnetics and chemical energies. They have conquered and urbanized the entire planet save the poles, and most concerningly, they retain a level of aggression until now seen only in the base instincts of non-sapient apex predators in times of plenty. As you can see from the telescope data, they appear to be in a state of prolonged conflict. They dig trenches and fling projectiles at each other for absolutely minuscule amounts of territory. Their flyers are crude and use biologic components, but that they even exist at all defies natural convention. Progress for these creatures occurs in generations rather than epochs, like it once did for them and still does for us. Depending on the state of affairs upon our arrival, the mission might have to be reported as a failure. I am attaching to this entry a briefing for a sterilization mission. In the event that the target is a lost cause, we will render their rock barren. Audio feed. Fleet Commander Booknashk. I have been defrosted permanently by reports of a system error. Sensor readings reported 116 celestial objects appearing in extremely close proximity to each ship in our fleet, They were not present in the moments before. I initially thought it was faulty hardware, but they are in such close proximity that I have confirmed visual observation. They arrived in a manner which exceeded physical parameters. I have initiated an emergency mass defrosting. I wish I had an explanation for these circumstances. The objects appear to be entirely spherical, so there is still an outlying chance that they are a natural phenomena. But my instincts tell me this is those mammalians. Let me look at the telescope readings to confirm or deny my suspicions. This is Fleet Commander Buknashk, hailing all ships in the fleet. Emergency first contact protocol initiated. Outcome likely to be hostile. Mammalian vessels of unknown advanced specifications capable of exceeding physical parameters, matching our vectors. Do not respond to any attempts to communicate. Change vectors to defensive formation. Prepare weaponry for an alpha strike on... Hostile contact initiated. Ships in fleet terminating transponder in correspondence with increased energy signatures from foreign vessels. Declaring weapons free. Rend their ships. Hostiles evading all weaponry. They vanish from sensor feeds only to reappear once projectiles have passed their location. No hits registered. We must warn the hub. Mammalians are hostile, highly advanced. Take these sensor readings and use them to... Feed terminated.